Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sam Waters here. Just wanted to shoot you guys a quick video about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. And it's also something that gets brought up a lot when a new person joins a business, and that is, how do I build this business if I'm really, really busy? Because the fact of the matter is, everybody is really, really busy, and building a business when you have a lot going on, it doesn't happen on accident. It's actually a skill that you need to practice and a craft that you need to master in order to have success in this business. When I got started almost a couple years ago now, I was going to school full-time. It was my senior year of college. I was playing baseball. I was working multiple jobs. I was working in assisted living, 48-hour shifts on the weekend. I would get done with that. I would come back to campus on Monday morning, and I would go straight to my second job, which was working as a tutor in the psychology student department. And so I went from work to class to practice to homework to live, repeat, rinse and repeat all day, every day. So I just wanted to share a few practical steps that you guys might be able to use as well to move your live business in the right direction, even if you are going to school, even if you're working, if you have a family, if you're like most of us who are busy in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen share, and you guys can follow along and get a little visual as well. So how to build your live business if you're really busy. It's very simple, but it's not always easy. And the problem is, guys, is most people are struggling to find time to build a business because 95% of people that are doing it, they're not doing it full time. There's always the 1% that really is a full-time network marketer, but in all reality, the majority of us have lives, right? We have work, school, family, and a million other little things that add up every single day, and it's not going to change anytime soon, right? It's not something that's going to stop. And life doesn't slow down, and as they say, the older you get, the faster time goes. So to be able to build a business in your spare time while you're also living your life is something that takes practice. So how do you build your business without quitting your job and leaving basically your entire life behind? And the solution is activity management. And one of the things that gets thrown around a lot, one of the terms is time management. And to be honest, like I really feel like time management is a myth if you really think about it. That time is one of the things that you can't control, right? You can't slow it down, you can't speed it up, and you can't stop it. So when people talk about time management, I'm just like, you can't manage time, but what you can manage is the daily activity that you take on a regular basis. And so if you break it down, if you take a look at your schedule, some things are going to be concrete and some aren't. So for example, if you're going to class or you're going to practice or you have games or you're going to work, those are concrete things in your schedule that you really can't change, right? Unless you're skipping class or doing something else. But usually if you're missing your concrete activities or your concrete scheduled, daily tasks, there's usually a negative consequence. But at the end of the day, guys, everything we do is either moving us closer or further from our goals. So let's talk about a few things that are practical that you can implement into your daily routine. All right, here we go. Step one, if you're trying to take your business to the next level in your spare time, you need to audit your activity. And the first part of that is deciding what you're willing to sacrifice and how much of it you're willing to sacrifice. So we're talking sleep, social media, wasting time on social media, that is, TV, socializing. These are all things that if you want to change your circumstances, you have to change what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, because what you're doing right now obviously isn't adding up to a place that you want to be in. So something has to change. And like I said, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, so something has to give, right? And we all have free time that we don't keep free. We all have free time that we don't keep free. We think we're busy, but in reality, we're really just spending our time in ways that aren't moving our business forward. So all of us have done this. We've formed bad habits that we need to break and replace. And doing that is the key to unlocking everything that you want in building a business, spare time to full time. So right now, the first action step that you need to take is writing down a list of things that you do on a daily basis that do not move you closer to your goals. And you need to be real with yourself. A lot of times back when I was in school, to the average person, I was busy, but to myself, when I really audited what I was doing, more often than not, I was finding myself just doing things that would be considered lazy rather than busy. So, I was spending extra time eating my supper. I was spending extra time scrolling through social media, watching TV, just mindless things, mindless minutes that add up to a lot of time. So right now, write down a list of things that you do on a daily basis that don't move you closer to your goals. I'm going to pause this for a second and give you guys some time to write that down. It doesn't have to be long. Just give me 3 to 5 things. Sleep, TV, scrolling on social media, things that you know that you can replace with income producing activities. And once you have that list, step 2, guys, is to audit your business. So if your business is not growing the way you want it to right now, that means that there is something in your sales process that is stuck. And it's up to you to go back and figure out what that is, right? Is it your marketing? Is it your lead generation? You're presenting, you're following up. What is it? Where in the sales funnel are people getting to and then stopping? So go ahead and think about that. Figure out what needs to change. So let's say, your lead generation. Let's say the problem starts at the beginning and you're not generating leads to build your business. What would need to change? You would need to generate more leads, right? Okay, so how do you change that? You connect with more people. So think about that in your own business. What part of the sales process are you struggling with, and what do you need to do to change it? Once you have those 2 things figured out, you can move forward. But most people don't take action because they don't know what to do or how to do it. Anytime you've had paralysis by analysis, it's because you don't know what to do next. And if you do know what to do next, you don't know how to do it. Okay, so right now, write down the parts of the sales process in your business that you struggle with the most, and then ask somebody that you trust for help, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So go ahead and write that down real quick. Step number 3. So now we've got our list of daily activities that we do that aren't moving us closer to where we want to be. We've got our list of things that might be slowing down our sales process or blocking it altogether. Now it's time to schedule your day. Okay, replace busy with productive. That's one of the most important things you can do. A lot of times we think we're being productive, but in reality, we're just being busy, right? Like you can spend hours on social media and you say, oh, I'm just, marketing on social media, or I'm just using my Instagram or Facebook to whatever the case may be. And the reality is you're just being busy. You're just filling your time with mindless stuff, and it's not producing results. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. And when you replace being busy with being productive, you will see results happen. I guarantee it. So what you need to do is become consciously aware of when you get off track. Because if you start doing something and you're productive, and you all of a sudden you find yourself, you stop messaging people and all of a sudden you're scrolling. You need to become aware of that so you can bring yourself back in and stay focused, right? So what you need to do is focus on income producing activities, IPAs. And these need to become non-negotiable, okay? It can be tough. It can be tough when you're dealing with friends and family, and you have a significant other and you have other commitments. It's hard. It's not easy. But you do need to protect your time, and you need to communicate that with people, right? So, for example, I'm in a relationship. I have been for 5 years now, and 2 years of that has been building this business. And we learned very quickly, Kayla and I, that we have to communicate to each other when we are taking time for ourselves to build this business, right? You have to be on the same page. If you're not, it can cause a lot of tension, and that doesn't end well for a relationship or for a business. So right now, guys, look at your calendar and figure out, what is it? What are my activities that I can replace? What are my busy activities that I can replace with productive activities? And fill your calendar. Write down what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, whether that is getting up 30 minutes earlier, whether that is staying up 30 minutes later, whether that is cutting out an episode of The Bachelorette. Sorry, Kayla, I know you're not going to do that. But figure out what it is in your schedule that you're willing to sacrifice and replace with an activity that will move your business forward. Put it in your calendar. If you got an iPhone, put it in your calendar on your phone. Write it down. I like to have a big calendar in front of me just to be able to see. But make it visual. And if you have to, set alarms, set reminders. Don't be ashamed that you set an alarm or reminder to make sure you stay on track with building your business. Like, you got to treat this like a business and it'll pay you like a business, right? So at this point, you should now have a full schedule of things that you can do to move your business forward, and you should know exactly when you're going to do them. And once you have that, I'm trying to forward here to the next slide. There we go. Now you just got to try it, right? You can't just sit there and analyze everything and tweak everything. You could do that for days upon days and never get anywhere. So just do the best you can with your schedule and try it. Be consistent with it for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, make adjustments, right? Throughout your first 2 weeks, note what worked, note what didn't work. You explore other options that you can use, but don't quit, okay? And base your adjustments on results, not feelings. A lot of times when you start doing this, you're not gonna wanna, you don't feel good when you give up that extra hour of sleep. You don't feel good when you don't get to watch the TV show that you're used to watching. You don't feel good when you don't get to scroll on social media as much as you used to. It doesn't feel good. So don't base your adjustments on feelings, base them on results, okay? And one of the tips that I learned too is to set your schedule when you feel inspired or energized, because when you do that, it's gonna hold you accountable to the highest level that you can perform, right? If you're feeling good, if you're feeling inspired, energized, you're gonna set your goals higher. You're gonna schedule your schedule a little bit tighter. You're gonna fit more into your day, rather than if you set your schedule in a day where you're feeling really down, where you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Like, don't set your schedule in a day when you don't want to do anything. Set it on a day when you're having a good day, when you're up, energized, inspired, and that's going to hold you accountable on the days that you don't feel like doing stuff, right? And then another thing, guys, is just find an accountability partner or a group. And it's so easy now with text messages and social media. Just pop in a group, find an accountability partner, and hold each other to a certain standard. Be on the same page about what you guys are doing, and be there to support one another, right? Encourage them. Don't do this alone. It's so much more fun. It's just like working out or anything else. If you do it with another person that you can go through struggles with, and go through and celebrate each other and support and encourage one another, it's so much more fun. So find somebody that you can use as accountability partner, and do it together. So in sum, guys, 4 steps to this, okay? 1, audit your daily activities. You have to find your hidden free time. We all have it. It's there, I promise. Find your hidden free time, audit your business, figure out what you need to do and how you need to do it. Mix those 2 together. That's your schedule for the day, right? And stick to it. Don't just give it a day or 2 and quit. And then obviously adjust as needed. But again, never stop. That's the only way you can fail, is if you stop. So just to give you guys a couple more tips and tricks that I've used in building my business that I have found helpful, that I would like to share with you guys. 1, leverage your marketing resources on social media. There is so much. There are so many tools that you can use to market and sell online, that if you want help with that, honestly, reach out to myself or Tyler, and we can help you with any of your social media needs. And a lot of it too is in your resources library or your Live to Learn Digital. That's a great resource. But in your back office, if you go to your resources tab, you go to your library, there's lots of images and stuff on there that you can use for marketing. And obviously the recap videos are great. There's so many clips and videos that Ben and Rod and the team have created that are perfect for social media. So use the resources that you have, guys. And to be honest, what we found is Instagram, it has been the move for sure. Our entire millennial team exists because of Instagram. Without it, we would not have a team. None of us, I would say 95% of us, we had never met before until we connected on Instagram. So if you want tips, tricks, different things that you can do to automate your Instagram, let me know. I'm happy to help. But one of the things that's been key to us is account growth. So generating those leads on autopilot, so you don't have to manually message people every single day. So you don't have to manually connect with people every single day. That takes a lot of time. You can automate that. There's story marketing. Tyler and I create tons of different stories to use for our Instagram, and our whole team uses them. So that's real leverage right there that you can plug into. If you would like some of that, just let me know. And then quick replies is something that is extremely helpful when having conversations on Instagram. It is something that will streamline your process tremendously. And we actually talk about quick replies and marketing and personal branding and everything in an ebook that we created recently. So if you want to get your hands on that, just let me know. I'd be happy to get that to you. And then another thing, guys, save your scripts and messages and your video links into your notes on your iPhone or whatever you have, Android. Save your scripts, messages, and video links in your notes so that you can easily copy and paste them, and that you don't. Then that way you don't have to go find them every time, right? It's much easier to have one note section with all the links, all the scripts, everything that you need to just plug and play. And then lastly, guys, just have an intention and a goal for your income producing activities when you do them, because it's not enough to just, if you don't have a goal, you have nothing. So you need to set an intention and a goal every time you sit down to do an IPA. Like if you're messaging people, you're reaching out to people, set a goal. How many people are you going to try to contact? How many people are you going to try to follow up with? How many people are you going to try to do a 3-way call with? Like at the end of the day, we still need to be able to measure our activity in numbers, because we need to guide people through the sales process so that they can make a buying decision and we get paid, right? We don't get paid just to market on social media. We don't get paid to post. We don't get paid to talk to people directly. We get paid when people enroll, right? And so keep that on the forefront of your mind. It's much easier if you know, for example, if you're going on a 90-day run, set a goal when you reach out to people. Hey, I'm going to hit up 10, 20, 30 people in a day, or whatever the case may be. So make sure you always have a goal that you're working towards that you can measure. And then lastly, guys, I know this isn't on here, but it is okay to have an off day. You're gonna slip up. You're gonna fall back into your old habits, but don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. Don't let a bad week turn into a bad month, because that's just bad for business, right? So don't be so hard on yourself if you go a day without sticking to your schedule. If you go a day without messaging people, if you go a day without, do your thing. Make sure you take care of your mental health as well, right? And yes, learn to rest. Just don't quit. There's a difference, right? Everybody needs to rest. Everybody needs to recharge. Get outside. It's hard in Wisconsin when you're stuck inside for 9 months out of the year, but you need to know yourself well enough to know when you need to rest and recharge, because in the long run, you will not be performing at your peak if you are not rested and charged up and ready to go, right? So know yourself well enough to know when you need to take a break, but also keep in mind there's a difference between taking a break and quitting, right? So guys, I hope you found that helpful. I hope you can take some of this and implement it into your daily activities, and hopefully this helps you have some more success building your live business if you're really busy. So go ahead and get with whoever you're working with. Get a hold of them, let them know you're going to start trying some new stuff, and ask them, hey, I noticed that this is stuck in my business. What can I do to change it? What can I do to fix it? And would you be my accountability partner? So again, guys, this is Sam Waters, and I am signing off. I'm going to figure out if I can stop this the right way. But hope you guys are having a wonderful 4th of July weekend, having a lot of fun and staying safe out there. So with that said, guys, we'll see you next time.